Hello everyone, Dovault here, and welcome back to the channel with another review. Now, a couple weeks ago, actually it might have been a month ago now with how slow I'm able to get these uploads done, we reviewed the Giant Legion Combiner by Mecha Invasion, which was their take on the stylized Generation 1 Combiner Team Constructicon's Devastator. That was a mouthful to say. Now today, as you can see, we have a nice fancy box here that our lovely friend is pointing us to, as we have received the Generation 2 box set of the same figure. Now this review is going to be a little bit different, as I'm not going to do the full transformation guide and everything. If you want to check that out, you can check out his playlist, which I'll make sure to put in the description below. Also, I'm doing this a little different because I have to stand. So, I might have to take breaks because my back hurts. I'm getting old for some reason. Curse you. Anyway, before we get into it, let me get our big boy out of here and we're going to take a quick look at the packaging. Alright, now before we look at this box here, I actually want to take a quick look at the box comes in. So, the box comes in has this really cool line art of the vehicle modes on one side with their 6-in-1 giant combiner, and then on the other side we get a cool line art of the bust of our Devastator here, and I just thought that was really cool. A nice little attention to detail with the Giant Legion logo here as well. Now let's get to the main box. The main box here is this nice satin black with, it's going to be really hard to catch on camera, but gold leaf line art of the figure on the box, which is really cool. Then on the back, you have some black line art of the figure as well, with the Giant Legion logo there. Looks really nice. Now mine is a little beat up. It did take forever in shipping. But it's got a Velcro panel here. You open up and you have the full set ready for combination right there. Really nice display. So if you wanted to, you could have the original figure up on your shelf and then keep this one in its box if you wanted to. Now, before we go any further, let us get this guy or these parts out of the box and I'll show you everything that comes inside. Alright, now we got our little foam insert out of there. Move the camera forward here. And we get each of our figures. So first we got our Scrapper. So yeah, I forgot their names for a second there. Looking real cool. Then you get your Mixmaster. Really hard to do this when I'm reaching like 4 feet around the camera. And here we have our Mixmaster ready to go for combination. They are very snug in there. Then you have your Scavenger as well. Bonecrusher already ready to go. And then Long Haul and Hook already combined. Looking goofy as hell without the rest of the body. Now, we are going to start in combine mode since they're packaged that way, and then we'll take a look at the individual figures. So let me get that combined for you. Alright guys, here we have G2 Giant Legion all combined, and this is an amazing take on a Generation 2 Devastator. I actually prefer this color scheme, actually. Put a little bit of weathering and battle damage on him and chef's kiss. It'll look amazing. But this guy is great. Now, I'm not going to go over articulation because that was covered in the original video, but we will take a look at the overall detailing as there is some new stuff. Alright, now as for details here, they have added a lot more as far as printed stuff goes. So here on the chest here, we have some really nice construction detailing with some added red on the chest. Some purple on the forehead with a blue visor rather than a red one. Now on the arms here, they did much more detail to make it look more like a real-life construction vehicle. With, instead of cat, it says GLA. Lots of really good detailing, especially with the hazard striping. Little extra hints of red. Same goes for what will be the chest of Mixmaster later. Nice GLA logo there. Now, this one is not panel lined, because on my original figure, I had added that panel lining, because I had the figure for a while before review. This one I just received. Then on the drum there, you got a lot more cool hazard and branding striping. Got some more hazard striping there on the side of those control arms as well. And on these, it uses a dark, transparent plastic rather than that shiny blue. Nice detailing there as well. The wheels of all of the vehicles now have yellow and silver rims rather than the solid black. Or solid silver, yeah. Had to double check. Really cool detailing there on the legs as well. They added some extra color to the arm of Scavenger and a nice gunmetal bucket here with hazard striping, if my camera will focus. There we go. They added a little bit of purple there to the crotch section with some extra gunmetal. Lots more gunmetal detailing. Gunmetal roof there on Scrapper with some more hazard striping located throughout the figure and some more purple pipage. So yeah, just a general awesome looking figure. Oh, I forgot. They also added some purple on the feet. Nice little color contrast. They use much darker metals for this one. And as for the actual metal, the die cast, they went with a shiny chrome rather than the gunmetal. And yeah, just overall an amazing, amazing looking figure to come in a box set. Now, as for accessories, he actually has the exact same accessories that came with the original, except they come in Generation 2 Chrome, like the original toy line. Now, I had already taken those out of the box before the video, so I gotta go hunt those down super quick. I'll be right back. Never mind, they were right next to me. I'm dumb. Let me get them out of their little Ziploc baggies here. Now, I have not put in the light accessories on this guy yet, but the original one, just like the original, it comes with the same light up effects with the batteries, focus camera, batteries included for all of the lights. And as you can see, for Bonecrusher and Scavenger's weapons, sorry, Scrapper and Mixmaster's, no, I was right the first time, it was Scavenger and Bonecrusher. They have these weapons done in a dark metallic plastic as well as chrome on both of these. Exactly the same detailing though that was on the originals, just in different colors. Then we have Longhaul's gun here with the same purple back that was on the original, but with chrome all over that barrel. Nice and shiny. Then we have Mixmaster's, which is solid chrome throughout the entire thing. Super clean. And lastly, we got Hooks, which is done in that same metallic black and chrome. Now let's get this all put together into its combined weapon form. Almost forgot Scrapper's weapon here with the nice black, same metallic black handle with the chrome barrels. Alright guys, and here is the weapon all combined together. Nicely done with a lot of chrome. Although I do gotta say that the chrome paint they're using here does add a little bit of thickness to the tabs. So it can be, you might have to put a little more force into it. And paint chipping might be a slight problem. So if you plan on keeping this in pristine condition, I recommend keeping it in one form. But yeah, Nicely done blaster here. And of course, he can hold it in his hand. You would just open up the fingers and plug this part of what would be Mixmaster's barrel into the big open slot in his hand. And he can hold that quite securely. So he can do his old, you know, pew pew bang bang, as Ingo would say. Oh, he's leaning. But yeah, that is the G2 Giant Legion in his combined mode. And I gotta say, awesome. Don't fall. It's really hard to do this on this camera. Also, I did not realize how much this LED lighting setup would get so hot. But without further ado, let me take these guys all apart so we can look at their individual modes, starting with the vehicle modes. See you then. Alright, we have them in their vehicle modes. Now let's take a quick look at these guys before we get into the robot modes. And I gotta say, this is where the alternate color scheme really shines. They actually look like genuine construction vehicles. And I really like how they went with the, obviously, the cat inspiration from real-world vehicles. And they really leaned into that with the detailing. So let's take a look at these guys one at a time, briefly. Got Bonecrusher here with the nice cat striping and hazard striping on the treads. Also, I like how they made both of this and Scavenger with the black treads. I always felt it weird that one of them had all green treads and then the other one had all purple treads, and it just looked kind of off to me. Even though that is mostly G1 accurate. But you got a little bit of the hints of the purple here on the vehicle mode. Hazard striping here on that as well. Got the GLA logo looking like the cat logo. Nice little touches of both silver and gunmetal in addition to all those markings. Then we'll look at his twin over here. Same cat striping with a little bit of the black and red accenting here as well. Same hazard striping with the GLA cat style logo here. We have some added color on the arm, which wasn't present on the Generation 1 version, as well as a black bucket with hazard striping. And as you can see, mine lacks the silver detail here. That's because on my copy, I added that. But that's a super simple thing to add if you wanted to. I do miss the hazard striping on these two pieces here that is on the original, but still, this figure looks amazing. Cleans up very nicely. Now, I do wish there was a way to move the arm further back to be a little more like the real vehicle, but, you know, it is what it is. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then we got our Scrapper here, looking like your standard real-life front loader. Same cat striping and detailing, hazard striping. They switched out the gunmetal for a more chrome on the control arms there. Yeah, overall, great looking figure. Bottom cleans up nicely. Then we have Mixmaster, the easiest to transform out of all of these figures. I really like the cat style detailing here on the drum, adds a little more contrast there. GLA cat logo, these are better painted than they are on the other version of Mixmaster. Nice gunmetal grill here rather than just black with a another grill underneath that. Yellow on the rims, unlike the solid black of the original, and once again, chrome instead of gunmetal here. Nicely painted tail lights there, and once again, bottom cleans up nicely, gun storage included. Then we have the longest boy of the bunch with our friend here, Hook, who for some reason I keep wanting to call him Long Arm for some reason. That's an Autobot. Wrong guy. Yeah, and just solid yellow all the way across. Nice hazard striping on here, and instead of black, they went with a dark gray. Chrome with a tampograph caution on the side there. I do wish it was the same hazard coloring as the previous version, but still nice. Cat striping on the front, painted headlights. Dark clear plastic instead of the solid painted blue, which this actually looks way better. Tail lights there at the back with a subtle hint of the purple. And of course the GLA logo there on the side of the arm. And underside, once again, cleans up nice and well. Visible combiner head syndrome. Except that forms the abs of the robot. And this one actually holds together a little better than the original. It seems they refined it just a little bit. And it feels real nice. And then lastly, my favorite vehicle mode out of the group. With this big Tonka MFer here. I really like how this guy came out. Although I still think this guy would be really cool as if the actual bucket section here, which makes up the arms and the sides of the legs, was actually done in that dark construction red you often see. Like on Overload from the live-action movie version. I think that'd be really cool. And I still want to do eventually a repaint of these guys to be like Autobots. Just thought that'd be cool. Now, I did notice, I didn't point it out in the robot mode section, which I actually recorded before this, but they swapped this out for, instead of being die-cast, they went with a very sturdy silver plastic, because I guess this part wouldn't have looked as good in chrome. Yeah, lots of good, nice hazard striping, the GLA logo, little hints of purple that otherwise would have remained black on the original version. And yeah, this is definitely my favorite of the vehicle modes. He's just a big old brick. Alright, now that we have all the vehicles together to see how this team looks together, let's finally get them all into their robot modes and see how the whole team comes together in this nice Generation 2 color scheme. Sorry for doing this in reverse order, but he was packaged in combined mode, so that's how we did it. But anyway, without further ado, let's get them into the robot modes. Alright everybody, and here we have the full team together in all their glory in their robot modes, and I love the way these guys came out. I'm still not sure if I prefer this version over the Generation 1 version of the team, but this is definitely an amazing box set, and if you can hunt it down, I highly recommend it. Now, before we end this video, I want to go ahead and just take a quick look at the details of each of these figures. Not doing articulation because you've seen that in my previous series, which I'll put in the link down below. But let's start here with our very posable friend, Scrapper. And I love the way this came out with the purple and yellow. And the added detailing, just from the added color contrast and the new decals, makes this guy look absolutely great. Now let's take a look at Bonecrusher here, who I have in a very dynamic pose because of those awesome knees that he has. I love the little touches of purple there on the side and the center, which really contrasts with the way the green one came out, which was mostly just solid green. I love the little bit of gunmetal detailing mixed in with the dark silver as well. Little hints of purple in a couple places. Nice clean look for the back. Same head sculpt as the G1, they all share that. Now for his little brother here, we have our scavenger. Looking real good. With that nice construction yellow, and of course with those pops of purple. I like how he has purple fists, whereas his brother has the gunmetal ones. Nice hazard striping there on the legs, and about the same detail everywhere else. But yeah, definitely looking good. They definitely went much harder on the paint apps on these guys. Now for Mixmaster. And I still cannot get over the way they did these legs. They're so cool how they managed that. I like the detailing on the side of the drum here. Can't wait to put battle damage on these guys. I still like how he has a very Tarn-like head sculpt, actually. Now for Hook, if I can reach him without knocking over the camera. Really like the way this guy came out as well. He's still my favorite robot mode out of all of them, but my least favorite to transform, because he's the only one you could say is even slightly challenging. And if you want to know more about the accessories and the gimmicks and stuff, check out the original series on the Generation 1 set. And then lastly but not leastly, we got my favorite of the bunch, Long Haul. The Big Brute, the Bruiser. I still kind of want to eventually maybe do a repaint of these where I replace the purple with that darker construction red and make an Autobot team. Really nice detailing. I like the contrast of the silver on gunmetal on the legs they did here with the purple knees and the little purple they did on the piping here. Really adds some contrast. And I like the gunmetal head far better than the bright silver. But yeah. This is an amazing box set. It comes out slightly cheaper than the Studio Series offering, but each of these figures is approximately MP scale and larger than a current leader. So it's amazing bang for your buck, especially if you're a collector of third-party figures and you want a really good G2 recoloring of Devastator. These are great display pieces, and if you have a chance to pick up both sets, I'd recommend it. But if you can only pick up one, I think the box set is the way to go, because it's all in one package and you save a little bit of money as you do so. I picked these guys up over at ShowZ Store, not sponsored, but you may still be able to get a hold of it there. They often get refreshes of the Giant Legion sets as Mecha Invasion, the company that is producing these G1 inspired figures, tends to actually make more pretty often. And I really hope they do Bruticus as well. That would be amazing, especially if they do it all in one cohesive military color scheme. That would be amazing. But anyway, guys, that has been my quick, mostly rapid-fire review of the Mecha Invasion Giant Legion Generation 2 box set Devastator. And it's 100% worth the money. But without further ado, if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification icon below to know when I upload new stuff, other reviews. Also, apologies for the slow uploads. It takes a long time to make these while maintaining my main channel, which, if you enjoy gaming, please check out. I'm currently playing through Hollow Knight in preparation for Silksong. Just thought I'd shamelessly plug my other content here. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!